There was a time during World War II when one tree crop quietly turned struggling farmers into some of the most stable and resourceful people in their regions. While markets collapsed, fuel was scarce, and imported goods vanished, this crop kept producing year after year with minimal input. It generated food, oil, animal feed, and even income when everything else became unreliable. And yet, once the war ended, it slowly disappeared from mainstream agriculture, pushed aside by faster, more industrial systems. That crop was the chestnut tree. If you've never thought of chestnuts as a serious survival or economic crop, you're not alone. But during World War II, they played a critical role in keeping rural economies alive. And understanding why reveals a completely different way of thinking about food and wealth. Let's get into it. This tree crop thrived because it required very little maintenance once established. Chestnut trees became valuable during World War II because they didn't demand constant labor. Unlike annual crops that needed to be replanted every season, chestnut trees produced harvests year after year once mature. In a time when manpower was limited and resources were stretched thin, that mattered. Farmers could rely on these trees without investing heavily in fertilizers, irrigation, or complex tools. The trees adapted well to different soils and climates, making them a dependable long-term asset. If you want to apply this today, think beyond seasonal planting. Consider integrating perennial crops into your system. While chestnut trees take time to mature, they require far less ongoing effort once established. Even planting a few now is an investment in future stability. They provided a dense, versatile food source when grain was limited. One of the reasons chestnuts became so important during the war is that they could substitute for grains. When wheat supplies were disrupted, chestnuts were dried and ground into flour. This flour was used to make bread, porridge, and other staple foods. Unlike many tree crops, chestnuts are high in carbohydrates, making them a practical energy source. They could be eaten roasted, boiled, or processed into different forms depending on need. For modern use, this is a powerful lesson. Having alternative staple foods reduces dependence on a single supply chain. If you can't grow chestnuts, you can still adopt the principle by diversifying your food sources. Learn how to process and use what you grow in multiple ways. This crop created multiple income streams at the same time. During World War II, chestnuts were not just for survival, they were also a source of income. Farmers sold fresh nuts, processed flour, and even byproducts like animal feed. In some regions, chestnut wood was also used for construction and fuel. This made chestnut trees incredibly efficient. One resource supported several needs, both for the household and the local economy. You can take this approach by thinking about how each element in your system can serve more than one purpose. A single crop that provides food, storage options, and potential trade value is far more valuable than one that serves only a single function. They stored well and extended food security through winter. Chestnuts had another major advantage. They could be preserved. Once harvested, they could be dried and stored for months. This made them a reliable food source during winter, when fresh crops were unavailable. In wartime conditions, this kind of storage capability was critical. It allowed families to plan ahead and reduce uncertainty. To apply this, focus on crops and foods that can be preserved easily. Drying, storing, and rotating your food supply ensures that you're not dependent on constant production. Even simple storage methods can make a significant difference. This system worked because it combined patience with long-term thinking. One of the reasons chestnut trees were so effective is that they represent long-term planning. Farmers who planted them were not just thinking about the next harvest, they were thinking years ahead. During the Second World War, those who already had established trees were at a clear advantage. They didn't need to scramble for solutions. Their system was already in place. This is where many modern approaches fall short. There's a focus on immediate results, but, resilience often comes from decisions made years earlier. You can start building this mindset by planting or investing in something that won't pay off immediately, but will become valuable over time. It could be trees, skills, or systems that grow stronger with consistency. This crop faded because fast production replaced slow resilience. After the war, agriculture shifted towards speed and efficiency. Annual crops that could be planted and harvested quickly became the focus. Industrial farming favored uniformity and scale, not long-term stability. Chestnut trees, which required patience and space, didn't fit into that model. Over time, they were neglected or replaced, and the knowledge surrounding their use diminished. This shift highlights an important point. What is efficient in the short term is not always sustainable in the long term. The methods that were set aside weren't ineffective. They simply didn't align with changing priorities. This forgotten crop still offers a powerful advantage today. Chestnut trees haven't lost their value. They still produce reliable yields, require minimal maintenance, and provide a versatile food source. For anyone thinking about long-term resilience, they remain one of the most practical options available. If planting chestnuts isn't immediately possible for you, start with the principle behind them. Build systems that last. Focus on resources that continue producing without constant input. Even small steps in this direction can change how prepared you are for uncertainty. The real lesson is about building systems that outlast disruption. The Second World War showed that survival isn't just about reacting to problems. It's about having systems in place before those problems arise. Chestnut trees represented stability in a time of chaos because they kept producing no matter what was happening around them. That's the kind of thinking that matters. If you want more real, practical knowledge drawn from history, methods that worked when it mattered most, subscribe to Endgame Survival. Share this with someone who understands that true preparation isn't about quick fixes. It's about building something that lasts.